Hey, my beautifuls, Najam Prasadli here, also known as Brahma Swarupa Chaitanya Lalitamba, and we're going to talk about this, which is Halloween and the energy harvesting that is done right now in a political arena and why it's happening. There's an inversion going on, and the main core resource is food that they're using. So I want to really break this down for you guys, and also what you can do, okay? Because the timing is specific of how this has done. The shutdown happened, October 1st of 2025, and we are literally exactly 30 days in of the shutdown. And we have to look at what holiday, what veiling is opening right now, and why and how they're using it. So I want you to stick around to the end because I want to share something really special, and so that you can take this, utilize it, and really raise the frequency higher for yourself, your family, and your community. All right, so stay tuned. Okay, guys, so I have my notes, and this is really powerful, guys, and I want you to know that we're going to do something, and we can do something together. We have to change the frequency. We have to change the frequency. So let me get into what this is. For those that don't understand what Halloween is or what it was supposed to be, and I may do a series on this, maybe 3-4 part, because I have some practical things that we can do as a collective, and we need to start changing the frequency, the paradigm. We have to, okay? That's our job. All right, so let's get into what Halloween is or was, the root of it. So as we know, All Hallows Eve. What does that mean, All Hallows Eve? It's the night before All Saints Day, which is November 1st, a Christian observance that was adapted from older pagan harvest and death festivals. So this was a homage to all the harvesting of fresh food, all the work that you've done, from in the spring, the summer, you come into fall, and just really thankful for what you harvested, the result of all that hard work. And also, it's death festivals of acknowledging, celebrating your ancestors. In Celtic Samhain, right? The Samhain, yes. It was most directed as an ancient Celtic festival marking the end of summer and the start of the darker half of the year. It was believed that during Samhain, the veil between the living and the dead was super thin. People would light bonfires to honor their ancestors and ward off wandering, low vibrating, low frequency spirits. Masks and costumes were used to disguise themselves from malevolent entities, low vibrating beings, So people would hide their being and put on these costumes to do that. The Christianity overlay on this. So the church, as the church grew during those times, it basically stole Samhain, right? Rebranded it, right? All Saints Hallows Day to convert. This was strategy. So this was to convert pagans, spiritualists, occultists, you know what I'm saying? People who were really about nature, the goddess, the earth. And keeping the ritual structure, but changing the symbolism. And so at its root, Halloween was never about fair, horror, grotesque type of thing. This was about transitioning, right? Reverence for the dead and communion between both worlds, the living and the dead, all right? So I really want you to understand that Halloween, Samhain, marks a seasonal portal, right? A natural thinning between realms. So from an energetic standpoint, earth energy retracts inward, mirroring the descent into the subconscious and the shadow. The ancestral and astral planes become more accessible. You can reach and touch and really see and experience and vibe, right? It's a time of psychic sensitivity, right? Where you feel more empathic, your dreams are much more clearer, having really deep soul reflections, etc. However, that was what the root was. But in today's modern day, it has been inverted, okay? So Halloween today is an inversion. And so instead of using the thin veil for ancestral connection, healing, and, doing shadow work, shadow integration, society now celebrates fear. You celebrate the gore, and you're doing mockery of death. This inversion feeds lower ancestral energy. So these beings start to rise. So if you look at even the video that Michael Jackson did, which is brilliant, Thriller, where were they coming from? The dead rising from the lower realms, and how they look, right? Really, scary and different, right? And that's what everybody was doing, right? I remember as a child, I didn't like Halloween. I didn't like what I saw. I didn't like the energy that I felt. And plus, as a kid, I'm a seer. I was seeing all kinds of stuff from other places, and it was just too frightening for me as a kid. So this inversion feeds the lower ancestral energies, amplifying confusion, disembodiment, right, and disconnection from the true ancestral reverence. So you see that today. People don't even want to talk to their ancestors or those that have passed. I remember growing up hearing that, like, oh, you don't talk to them, you don't acknowledge, you don't say anything, even if they're talking to you. Like, it's crazy to me. And the other thing would be, I've done clearings for lots and lots of homes, and one of the things that's missing whenever I go to a home to do a clearing is that they don't have no ancestors up in there, like nothing, right? They're just open. All these entities and energies would be in there having a whole lot of fun on their energy. Ancestors, you have to have that ancestral and astral layer in your home. So the veiling, right now, what's going on is it's the inversion of sacred energy that has now become entertainment and fear mongering. So I'm going to shut it down. This is part 1. I'm going to shut it down here, and I'm going to do a part 2 and follow along. But I really want you to start looking at what Halloween really is to you. Stop following the masses, is what I'm going to say to you. Stop being so gullible. Know why you're doing it. Why are you dressing up and putting on a mask? And don't come tell me, oh, because it's fun. Stop it. Look deeper. Look really deep. Why are you dressing your kid up in a costume? Does that kid understand what's going on and why? You understand? But we'll continue it in part 2.